It's 9:05. I think everybody who wants to come is here. Welcome, everyone. If you're just joining us again, please use the chat feature to speak to us. All righty. So this is the Miller Business website, millerbusinesscenter.org. And, we tend to talk about the subscription databases that we offer here. And let me mention, today we're going to talk about quote unquote free resources. That does not necessarily mean that our subscription databases are not free to you. They are. However, there's other things out there that companies and organizations don't charge for, that's readily available out there that I think you might be interested in for your small business, or perhaps some other things in your life that might work out for you. So we have a curated section on our website under the resources tab, the resources menu, called Online Business Reference Collection. We're actually not going to talk about everything in this collection today. However, this is where some of the things I'm going to talk about are located. So you can see we break it down by different subjects here. You can click on it to jump to it. Unfortunately, the Suffolk County websites are all down right now. If you haven't heard, they had a cyber attack. So they're not available. So there are some Suffolk County sites here that are here in this list that are not available right now. But you can see we have career information, company information, demographic statistics, and everything here is quote unquote free. There are resources that you can access from anywhere. There's no charge. I will say a small percentage of these resources might have freemium. It's called freemium services, where you register for free and you have access to it, but they might offer you the opportunity to purchase certain data. You could do that as well. Everything I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to focus on the free stuff that's available, the freemium stuff that's available. So I'm going to start off with one of the fun websites that I personally like fooling around with, and that's Pew Research Center. I'm sure you've all heard of Pew Research. The news tends to use them a lot when it comes to talking about data and statistics and whatnot. And while we do have Statista, which is a great resource that you can access if you come down to the Miller Center, and has all these different infographics and data points. If you're, this comes in as, this is especially handy if you're writing your business plan, or if you're going to the bank and you're asking for a loan and they ask you for data about your industry or your potential customers. Pew Research has that information as well, and it is readily available to you, and it is free. You will have to create a free account to download these reports, but it's absolutely free. There's no reason why you wouldn't be able to do that. And the research topics are pretty intense here. So you can see we have politics and internal affairs, immigration, science, economy, family and relationships, as well as different regions and countries. And they do have videos that you can watch on the site, as well as the fact sheets that you can download, and essays and dossiers and all this great stuff. So what would we use this for as business owners? Well, let's say we are in the internet and technology field, and we want to learn more about our potential customers and demographics and trends in the industry. We can come here, we can click on internet and technology, and we have the current articles that they're running with the data points that might be useful to what we do. This one I thought was pretty interesting. More Americans are joining the cashless economy. You can click on that and you'll get a nice little page here with a short article about the data, as well as these infographics. Now, what is handy about this database is that if you click on the infographic, all the infographics that are included in this article will be here, and they are all downloadable. So you can take this download it and insert it into perhaps a PowerPoint presentation. Perhaps you're pitching your product, your service to someone, and you want to present it, and you want to say, okay, this is Americans have become more likely to say they don't use cash for purchases in a typical week. So they break it down for you, and you can see the trends here. And again, it's from Pew Research Center. And as long as you cite them in your research or your report, you will be able to use this. Additionally, they have this really great feature. If you have a website or a blog that you write, you can embed this directly into the site just by copying this this code and inserting it into your website code, which is pretty cool. Kind of takes away all the legwork of having to do the citations and whatnot, because they'll link back to their site. It's also got social networking sharing opportunities here for you for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, if you want to share these infographics or these articles, as well as you can print this out as well. So lots of great information here. And again, this is for you to do research about your potential customer or about the business or the industry that you're in. So we'll just come back up here. We'll pick another topic. Let's go to full topics, and you can really see it's pretty remarkable what they do. And this is the best part about this research, is that most of it is fairly fresh. They tend to keep this pretty fresh. Oh, look here, other topics libraries. We're a library. Reading for fun has become less common. That's not good. These are pretty old, but you kind of get the idea here. How this works, regions, countries, perhaps you want to do business in Europe. This will break it down for you as well. If you go to tools and resources, they have the feature. Now, this feature, you definitely have to create this free account. What this will allow you to do is this will allow you to download data sets. And if we come, for example, to the internet and technology data sets, now this is not going to be super new data because they have to compile this, but this will allow you to download, for the lack of a better term, the entire report from the entire year. For the entire, for this is all 2021, and this is for all these reports that they did. You can download the entire data set. And what that looks like is a PDF file of the actual data. So you're going to have columns. It's kind of like an Excel spreadsheet of the questions, the answers, and how many people, percentage-wise, number-wise, answered the questions and how they answered it. So, for example, this one data set here is American Trends Panel Wave 70. It was taken in the field for a week in July of 2020, and the topics were religion and public life, social media's role in politics and society, COVID-19, contact tracing, so on and so forth. So you would come here, you download the data set. You do need to agree to the terms. And if you bear with me one moment, I am going to open this, and then I'll share that screen so you can see what it looks like. I'll do the questionnaire. Right. And now you're looking at the actual questionnaire that they asked the folks and the questions. So have you done any of the following as a result of the coronavirus outbreak? So you could see there, it's the actual survey that they did. Now, again, I just picked this kind of random one here, but they have this for a ton of what they do on the site. So if you want to, and again, I didn't download the answers, but they have the answers broken down in charts and whatnot. So it's not as pretty as the infographics, but it does have the raw data. So again, This comes in handy when you're doing a presentation about your business. This comes in handy when you're looking for trends for a customer base. You know, if you're going out there and you want to get a loan at the bank, you know, I'm not, that's not my field. I don't know if whether or not they're just going to give out money. Usually they like you to have a presentation. They want to get some background about what you're doing, and they want data. So this is where you can come for that for free without having to come down to the center. We would love you to come down to the center and access Statista, but this data is all readily available to you from Pew Research. So it's a great resource. And I like to call this database a Sunday morning database because it's very interesting. You don't necessarily have to be doing research for anything specific. It's just a nice way to, you know, take a look at what's going on in the world and kind of get an idea. And you know what? A lot of times when you're looking at this data and you're reading these reports, kind of gives you ideas, kind of opens your brain up to different things, and perhaps you're going to want to change your business plan based on the trends, because that's, you know, that's how we stay relevant and successful. So there you go. There's the first one there, Pew Research Center. Any questions about Pew Research? We're going to move forward here to a website and a service called Compass with a K. And this is a global business-to-business portal to find and contact products or service suppliers. Okay. So there are a couple of databases. You know, last time I did this program, I did ThomasNet, which is in our online database registry. This is Compass, also there, but I just wanted to show you what this is. So if you're a business that requires you know, having certain supplies, maybe you're a product manufacturer, maybe you do printing, publishing, that kind of stuff. This is a great place to find companies that might offer you those supplies and those services. Now, let me say up front, this is one of those websites that is going to want to sell you like a prospect list. And more power to you if you want to spend the money for that. I feel like this is a good jumping point to do your research and then come to us and our databases that we subscribe to, like Reference USA or Merchant Intellect, to do your deeper data and download the lists that way. But this is a great starting point. So, for example, if you want to look for a product or service, and you can type anything in here if you want. It's a search engine, or you can pick one of these categories. So if I'm looking for fastener, I'm just going to do just general fastener here. And we get these companies here. And this is, let's do this British one here. This is Alessa UK. They make fasteners. And this particular one is the knurled grip knob, provide an elegant solution to problems of mounting, demounting brackets, so on and so forth. You get a description of the product, a link to the company website, and all other things that they do at this company. And if you want to call the company, you can click on that link and it gives you their telephone number. So if you are in the business of doing something that requires a fastener, and you're like, where am I going to get this fastener from? You can come here and search for a product. And these are things that you really don't think about, right? You really don't think about it when you're, you know, let's say you created like a cabinet or something like that. And, you know, you're like, who am I going to get to, you know, put wheels on the bottom? You know, do I go to Amazon.com? They're going to charge me a fortune. You know, I'm going to be buying all my supplies from them. That's not going to work. You come here and you can see all these different things and all these different companies and what they offer and what they make. And again, this is kind of an interesting thing here, you know, handles, you know, measuring equipment, you know, for specific measuring. And you can really, like I said, you can really come here and just browse based on the different things. So like electronics or optical, you're looking for exporters of this stuff, you can click on this. And again, they're going to want you to, if you want to download the list in the sense that we do it here at the center, they're going to want to charge you. But if you're just searching for someone and you want to kind of get their general information, you can come here and see that. So, Metchem manufactures filter presses, clarifiers, sludge dryers. I mean, this is stuff I don't know about, but if you're out there and this is part of your business, this is a great resource for you to go to. And again, what's nice is that you get a general description of the company. In some cases, it'll tell you when it was established. It'll give you some products, a nice little map here, any activities that maybe they're working on currently, and you can get the telephone number of the company. Just click on call company, or even better, you can drill down and go straight to their website. And I just clicked on that, and there it is. So this is that company. So what's nice about this is that it's not just doing a Google search. It's more specific. You're driving down to finding companies specifically that export or import or build or create, manufacture is the right word here, manufacture the products that you're going to need for whatever you're doing. And it's, like I said, this part of it is all free. The Compass directory is at compass.com. And you can also register your company if you want to go into their database. If you actually produce an item that you want folks to be able to discover, you can register with them. So again, very similar to ThomasNet, which is another database that I've spoken about before. If you've come to one of these sessions, I usually do this once a year. It's like that. I wanted to talk about Compass today because I want to give, spread the love to all these other resources. So if you're in the business of requiring parts, you need an importer, or you're looking for an exporter of certain things, you can come here and look for it. This is a great starting point if you're doing research for companies similar to yours or companies that you want to do business with. So that is Compass. Any questions about Compass? I know we're kind of going a little quick here because I want to get as much in as possible this morning. Okay. Moving on. Now, I have to mention the government, because they have, truth be told, as I tend to kind of, I'm a little hard on the government websites because a lot of times their data sets and their data access is a little clunky. Okay. It's a little difficult to get through the data, So like, for example, the census website, I say, don't go to the census website, go to Demographics Now, which is one of our subscription databases. It's census data, but it's much more user-friendly. That being said, I do want to point out a couple of government websites that I think are very helpful to small businesses. And of course, I need to start with the SBA, the Small Business Administration. And I specifically want to talk about their kind of educational tools. So this is really for folks who are just getting started with their business. So right up front, when you go to the SBA site, they see it right here. Start your business in 10 steps. You click on the guide, and it's a nice little thing here where they break it down for you, writing a business plan, funding your business, picking your business location. And it's great. It really is well done. It tells you what type of companies there are out there. You can read this sole proprietorship, right? This is what a sole proprietorship is. This is how that works. But even deeper than that is that it's pretty much holding your hand on, how to apply for licenses, how to get a federal and state ID tax number. So we're in New York. So you click on Get Federal State ID. You'll scroll down here. You'll pick your, you'll pick up your state. We'll pick New York. And it shows you the site, where to go to apply for the for your license or to get your tax ID number. So a lot of this stuff is, again, I don't want to say hand holding because that's kind of a bad way of saying it, but a guided way of starting your business and kind of getting the idea of what you need to do, how you need to go through the process. And if you come here to this learning platform, they have a whole, they have a whole learning center here. Okay. And all these courses on starting your business, your small business. And from a educational standpoint, this is amazing. And these are actual courses that you'll go through, and you'll see they have 0 out of 70 objectives. So if you're going to the planning course, for example, how to write a business plan, and here's the breakdown, and these are all videos. It tells you how long the videos is. It's very similar to if you've ever used LinkedIn Learning, formerly lynda.com. It's very similar to that. So, and then they have these documents that you can download, the worksheets on that they're companions to the programs that you're seeing, that you're watching. So lots of great things here, educational opportunities for you. If you're a woman-owned business, of course, there's going to be plenty for you to find on the government websites on, how to register your business as a women's owned business. That's a common question we get, and you can come here and find that information out, and they will guide you to where you need to go. And I do want to mention this, the local assistance here, specifically the Small Business Development Center. And I'm just going to click the tab over here so you can see our friends, Stony Brook Small Business Development Center. These are the business counselors. They offer free business counseling services. They're right over by the school, just north of us here. We partner with them on a number of things. But if you come here, you will see on their website the ability to schedule an appointment. Okay, it's no cost, just so you know, just like us, there's no charge for that. But they have some really great programs that I want to mention here. And you can come to their website and you can see and register for the programs that they're working. Like this one's a great one, requirements review for mobile food trucks. I do know we have a few mobile food truck, potential mobile food truck folks out there who are patrons of the center. These are great programs. You might not know that they exist unless you come here. So you definitely want to come to the SBA.gov and the Stony Brook Small Business Development Center website, where you can see like great stuff here, like new things taxpayers should consider as they get ready to file their taxes. Recovery rebate, refund interest. You click on that and it's going to tell you, go straight to the IRS site, and it's going to tell you what you need to do to get all that information, because these are things that the counselors are thinking about for on your behalf as a small business owner, and they feel like it's important. So I do want to mention this as a resource. We partner, like I said, we partner with them. All the counselors there are absolutely outstanding. And definitely join their mailing list. I'm on their mailing list. You'll get the emails about all the programs that are coming up. And if you need to make an appointment, you want to talk to somebody, their phone number is 631-632-9070. So definitely another great resource for you to check out, which is our SBA.gov and the Stony Brook Small Business Development Center. All right. So we're going to move on to another government website. This one's a popular question, and that's, are there grants for my business? How do I find out what kind of grants there are out there? So the subscription solution, we'll say, that you have access to here at the Miller Business Center is the Foundation Web. You do need to come down to the library in order to access it. But it is absolutely free to access here at the center. You can, we can sit you down at one of the computers and you can access that. And Foundation Web tends to deal with a lot of organizations that are funding uh, small businesses, mostly non-for-profit businesses, and getting them funding. Now, that being said, there are also government grants that are out there, and grants.gov is your place to go to browse those grants, search for those grants, and eventually, if the grant is appropriate to what you're doing, apply for the grant. Now, I will say this, while it is not common, there are grants that come from the government that are available to private small businesses that are profit businesses. Let me show you really quick how this site works. And I will say right up front again, it's a government website. It's going to be a little clunky. It's not like as easy as we would love it to be and as user friendly as we would love it to be. So you can just do like a quick grant search right here if you want, or you can drill down a little deeper here with these features down here. I'm just going to click on search grants. Let that come up. Now, these are the grants that are coming up right away. Now, interestingly enough, what the government will do is if they see, if they're looking for like a forecasted, if there's a forecasted a grant coming up, like something in the future, they will post the kind of the preview for the grant. And that's what this means here when it says opportunity status forecasted. These are coming up. So these are going to be within, the next year or so on and so forth. The posted are the things that are coming, I'm sorry, the posted are the things that are here and they're ready to be applied for. Now, I will say this, you do have to create an account on this website in order to apply for the grants online. The account is, what most people are going to do is the login.gov. This is kind of like the centralized, unified government account system. Now, I do not have one that I have here to show you, but I will show you where you would go to do that. So let's say I want to look for, we'll say posted grants. So I'm going to unclick the opportunity status. And we're going to come down here and say, see where it says eligibility? I'm going to go down here and say small businesses. Put a check mark there. And we'll do all categories just so you can see what we're looking at here. And these are all the grants that are currently available. It's when they were posted. So you're going to see a lot that was posted yesterday here. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grants that were posted yesterday. And you're going to see the close date. So you only have 2 months to apply for this particular grant. There's a lot here. And I'm sure a lot of this is really outside the purview of what you do. But it is worth searching for if you're interested. Now, what's nice is that you don't have to necessarily browse this and just kind of look through here. You can also do a keyword search for maybe your business type or, what you do in your business, what your industry is, and jump to that. Let me see here. See if there's anything solar. Oh, yeah, look at that. So this is coupling energetics and dynamics of atmospheric regions. There's going to be a lot of science grants here, obviously, because the government gives a lot of research interests of the Air Force Office of Scientific Research is the opportunity title for this. Let's just jump. Social and economic development strategies for Alaska. You can also, that's the other thing, you can also do a search based on the region. I'm just going to pick anyone just to show you what that looks like. Okay. So this is this particular grant. It'll tell you who's eligible for it. It'll tell you the description. It's not going to be in quote unquote English sometimes. Sometimes it's like really, really out there. So it's, I mean, it's, you can see the words, but put together, sometimes they don't understand. It tells you what the total program funding is, the award ceiling, so on and so forth. You see that, and you can apply right here. Like I said, after you get your login, your government login. But this is what's really neat. So let's say I'm going to just click off this, and I'm just going to say forecasted. Because let's say this is something that you're really interested in. You can come here and click on subscribe and log into your account, and you can subscribe to all of the updates for this particular opportunity, or you can subscribe to a grant that's already active. And that actually is pretty cool, because that'll kind of give you an idea of the changes, what's going on, or when it does become, it's a reminder when it does become available to register for it. You'll get an email that says you can now apply for this grant. So they also, I do want to say, they also have a pretty decent collection of YouTube videos for you to watch, to learn how to apply for a grant. They have a user guide. So it's an online kind of a knowledge base where you can kind of read the process of applying for a grant. You can also, read their policies and also see who the agencies are that are making those grants. Okay. And this is something fairly new. You can download the grants.gov mobile app and actually submit and search on the go. So I don't know about you, but when I'm on the train and I have internet access, I'm going to search for my grants and apply right on there. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so that's grants.gov. And it's a great opportunity for you to see what's out there. So any questions before I move on to the next resource? I when doing research for this and looking through our resources, I noticed I noticed a lot of learning opportunities that are free now. There we go. And I wanted to just bring it to your attention, because knowledge is power. And as much as we we should appreciate making a sale and whatnot, sometimes knowing something is just as important and as valuable as actually making the sale. So Training Magazine Network is a free service. It's part of Training Magazine. It is a free service that allows you to register for free and watch and register for webinars on doing business. And you can see some of these here. Coaching leaders to manage diverse teams, creative breakouts, new ideas for successful group activities and virtual classes. These are all free, and they are taught by some pretty great leaders in those industries. Okay. They do also offer recordings of webinars that perhaps you have missed. So you can come to the recordings tab, for example, and you can watch them on demand. And again, it's all completely free. All you need to do is sign up for an account, and you will be able to watch these. And some of this stuff is pretty cool, like Screen Actors' Secrets to Connect, Engage, and Influence on Camera. So it's not just business stuff. If you're into the creative stuff, you can, there's stuff on here too. Coaching for sales success in a tough economy, tools for training program evaluation, so on and so forth. So again, another resource that I think is great as far as perhaps if you want to brush up on on some of your skills, this is a great place to come. You don't have to pay for LinkedIn. You don't have to pay for, any of these other services that require a fee. You can just come here and check it out. All right. Moving forward, any questions? I think this is actually a pretty cool resource. It's called the Business Model Analyst. Okay. This is especially a useful tool for businesses that are just getting started creating your business plan. Okay. These are business models for popular companies. Okay. And for example, Costco. And you are not going to be Costco. You are not probably going to be anywhere near Costco. That being said, it is very interesting to see how other businesses create their business plans and what their business model is. Okay. So, there's no reason why you can't look at one of these businesses and scale it down to what you do. Okay. So for example, let me see if we can get something that's a little more. I'm going to jump around here. Yeah. Disney business model, Apple, Zillow. You can see Trader Joe's, customer discovery. There's also great articles on here as well. Okay. Let's see, scalable business models, Instacart, model assessment, network effects. I mean, there's so much stuff on here. It's really amazing. Okay. We're using Zoom. This is the Zoom business model. Okay. So you can continue reading it and it'll explain everything that's in that model. A lot of great charts, a lot of great graphs. And again, this for you will be scalable. You're going to look at this like, look, I'm not going to be Zoom, but maybe I'm going to provide a very localized video conferencing service. And let me see how Zoom did it. And let me see how I can bring that business model and scale it to what I'm going to do. So that being said, if you click on the free tools button here, you can download their business model templates, which is pretty cool. Like empathy map, business model template here. We got the Excel. You can do it at Google Sheets. So if you want to insert it, all free. This is all free. There's no catch or anything like that. You might have to sign up for a free account, but it's pretty cool as far as, it'll show you, okay, who are we empathizing with? What do they need to do? Gains, pains. What do they hear? What do they do? So on and so forth. It's not just the template either. You can read up on it in their, but when you go back here in their, the pages where they explain the business models. They also have a newsletter that you can sign up for. I thought this was pretty cool. It's not on our online list, but I thought it was a pretty neat resource to take a look at. All right, moving forward, I am going to go back to our online resource here because I want to show you two of these. First one is Data USA. Now, I don't know about you, but I love when data is visualized, is made for, infographics and whatnot. I love it. And boy, does this site have it down pat. So this is Data USA. And again, this is for you as a business owner who perhaps is doing a presentation, or maybe you're writing your business plan, or maybe you're looking into the industry that you're in, or maybe you're looking at the demographics of your potential customers. This is a place where you can come and browse data. And it really is meant to be browsed So for example, if you are you want to start a restaurant, you can come here to restaurant and food services. This is an industry group, tells you how big the workforce is in the United States, gives you some great graphs here. Let me tell you, when you look at this COVID, right? When COVID came, look at that. I mean, it is tough not to see that. It is crazy to think about that. And it tells you, the Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates that there were 12.1 million people employed in the restaurant service industries group in 2019. This data lags behind a little bit. It does take a long time for them to gather this data. But check out this this is such a great way of presenting this data, isn't it? I mean, you can see, okay, waiters and waitresses, you can see how many people are in the workforce, what the margin of error, what the average salary is. So perhaps, you're looking at opening up a restaurant or food service. And you got to think, what am I going to pay my folks? What am I going to pay my cooks? Or if they're a head cook, what is the average salary for that? Okay. Food service. Let's see, managers, on the average, they make $47,000 a year. Okay, what about the drivers? Okay, how many people are in the workforce? That went up when we went through COVID. So it breaks it down for you here. Tells you the wage by, this is really cool too. So you can see where the highest paid restaurant workers are in the country. That's the darker color here. Obviously, Long Island. Look at that, Long Island. We're up there. Okay, down the East Coast here, the corridor, Florida, Southern California, Central California. You can kind of see where those are, and you can also get the wage distributions. You can see the opportunities. So this shows you basically where there are restaurants that want to employ more people, that there's jobs available in these locations. And it's kind of the opposite here when you look at the map about, with New York is not that bright, but places down here like Flagstaff, they're looking at, they require a bigger workforce. You can see what type of demographics, who works in the restaurant industry. You can see what the wages by sex, which is very interesting here. Okay, wage by race and ethnicity. So a lot of great data, and it's so beautiful when it pops up. I don't know what this undefined means. That's kind of weird, but it's just great. Okay, so this is for the entire United States, but this is not just restaurants. This is everything. Okay, this is everything. We can even branch out specifically by the state and get like the state data here, and how nice it's presented to us. We can look about diversity, what happened with COVID, the economy in New York, civics, education, housing and living, health. Okay. Again, data that is very, very important. You might not realize it's important. You might think it's just, fancy charts, but you'd be surprised when you're dealing with building marketing campaigns and how important demographics are to your marketing campaign. Rather than spending all the money on, targeting a certain audience, and then you realize, wait, I am targeting completely the wrong people. I need to be targeting these type of people, this household income, So really a lot of great data here. And, you can download all this. Let me just, for free. Okay. You can also, like with Pew, you can share it and embed it. And you can just view the raw data here. It really is great. It's also great to see trends too in industries. So I'm looking just at the state, but if you want to, again, go to a specific industry, and look at the trends, you can do that here as well. So these are projections for outpatient care centers. Okay, you can see we got some ambulatory health care services growth going on here from just under 800 billion. So really great stuff here. datausa.io. And again, you can grab that from the website, the Miller site, in the online business uh, reference collection. Again, you go to resources, you click on online business reference collection. And in this case, I went to demographics. The second one I want to show you in the demographics has been very useful to a lot of my patrons, especially ones who are branching out and they want to go brick and mortar, because that's still a thing. Online is not, the be all end all. People are still, opening up businesses in actual places, physical locations. And look, the right now, the way the economy is, it's kind of tough, because you got a lot of places that want to charge a lot of rent, making it difficult for small businesses. But at the same time, I'm hearing about outlet malls and strip malls that are they're dropping their prices, because they much rather have a little bit of money and a storefront that's open rather than an empty storefront. So this is the New York State Department of Transportation traffic viewer. And real world, what have I used this for patrons is, I have a patron who says, I'm thinking of renting this location at so-and-so address. Can you tell me what kind of traffic I'm going to get? And we can come here and see how much traffic will pass by that location, based on whatever the metric is. Okay, so for example, this is Nichols Road to County Road 83. So this is in our neighborhood here at the library. Well, in the Selden area there. So this looks like 83 here. This is bicycle path. So, but this is the ranch. So we can see that the average speed. And we can see that in the morning, the peak is the 2,257 cars. And in the evening, 3,200 cars. We can see how many trucks, what the percentage, only 2%, of trucks that come through here. And this is pretty neat. And what I've used this for is, again, we focus on, sorry, it's a little crazy. We focus on shopping centers a lot when we're doing this. So we'll try to find a shopping center. Like here is a shopping center in Quorum. You can see it actually laid out here. And we can see, click on that they get, over the year, they get 30,000 cars going through there. And most of them in the evening. And you can also get the speed statistics based on the direction, which is actually pretty neat. And you can see here, these are the counts. So I don't know, you may or you may not have run over one of these lines that are across the street. It's a traffic counter. And basically, not only does it count how many cars pass over that line, it also counts the speed. And obviously, if it's a truck, they know, because it's also got a weight sensor in it, so they could see if it's a heavier vehicle. And we have used this free, absolutely free service. And what's nice is that you can download the map. You can just highlight an area, download the map, download the data. We can zoom in on, on an address too. So, you can type in the actual street address here, for the shopping center, and it'll zoom right there. But it's really amazing. And again, it's interesting information that you don't think you necessarily need until you're presented with a choice. Look, you can, there's this place here. They're charging us this amount of rent. per month, it's kind of expensive. And there's this place here that's dirt cheap, and then you do the comparison. You're like, you know what? It's worth going with the more expensive place because, we're looking at, twice the amount of cars passing that location. So, we're getting what we pay for in this respect, as far as traffic is concerned. So, obviously this database isn't going to break it down in, who is passing, but it does tell you how many people are passing along there. So any questions? We're about to wrap this up. We try to keep this under an hour. Please use the chat feature if you'd like to ask any questions. I'm just going to show you one more database, and this is my bonus database. It's I don't even know if it's as relevant. I just think it's kind of cool. Especially if you're a business traveler. You travel for business, called Flight Radar 24. And it's basically every single airplane in the air currently live. And it's pretty neat. And I just like to finish on it because I use this every single day just because I'm an aviation geek. But if you're doing business, if you do a lot of business traveler, if you're a business traveler, you do a lot of business travel. Or if you are, just kind of bring it back to the business side of it. If you have a business that perhaps you're a limousine company, this is a great way of tracking your rides coming into the area. It's much better than some of the other services because it is live and you can see where the plane's coming from. You can even see it taxiing to the gate on the ground. So it's great because you can create an alert. So if, let's say, you're a limo company, you're picking somebody up at Islip, you can say, please alert me when this plane arrives on the ground. You get a little text message. And then if you wanted to, you can actually watch the plane. So when the plane pulls up to the gate, if you're a regular limo driver and you're picking people up on a regular basis at Islip, it's probably 10 minutes before they're going to be out at the curb. So, so there. I just love this website. I used it yesterday to, pick up my family from the airport. I was able to follow them in. It's just a nice way for me to end this program of the free online resources that we have. I did have more on this list, but it's just amazing how long it takes to go through this. But I did not want to go too fast. So any questions from anyone in the audience here today? Once again, just a reminder that if you want to watch this over, the recording will be online, youtube.com/Miller Business Center. Besides this program, we have a lot of other things here. I mean, this is a great free resource. We have Spotlight on Middle Country, which is a podcast that we do about twice a month, 1 to 2 episodes a month, where we interview a business owner in the Middle Country area. If you happen to be in a member of the Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Middle Country Chamber of Commerce, you definitely want to reach out to us because we do want to interview you for our show. So we have that on our site. We have, we did a program 2 months ago, database deep dive. Any of the webinars that we do, social media analytics, Facebook and Instagram ads, using a podcast to market your small business is one of my programs. Informational interviewing if you're looking for a job. Reference solutions for job searches, Money Smart. I mean, this is all great stuff. And a lot of this stuff, it's like an hour long. So it's like really good. So definitely take a look at that when you get a chance, youtube.com/Miller Business Center. So that's it. That's a wrap. My name is Sal DiVincenzo. I am going to put my information here. If you have any questions, you can email me at this email address. And I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have.